84% of first-year crypto traders lost money last year. 58% lost nearly all of their investment. Those numbers aren't the story circulating on social media. The story circulating is about the guy who turned 5,000 into 400, or the woman who quit her job to run a crypto portfolio. Those stories spread because they're extraordinary, and that's exactly the problem. A Wall Street Journal investigation this month named something that's been building for years. Passive income has replaced hard work as the new American dream. 72% of Americans either have a side hustle or are considering one. Millions are chasing returns from crypto, prediction markets, and AI-generated content. And leaders need to understand what's actually driving that, because it's not just about money. It's about this concept called survivorship bias, and it's at play pretty much everywhere. And it's reshaping the people entering the workforce, young workers, what they expect from careers, and how they evaluate building something versus betting on something. So what's survivorship bias? Here's what it does. You form conclusions based only on the examples that made it through, the successes, the survivors. The failures don't show up in your feed because there's no one amplifying them. The Bank for International Settlement studied Bitcoin investors across 95 countries and found that between 73% and 81% had likely lost money from their analysis. That's not the story that circulates. The American dream has always been built on a clear, focused contract. Effort connects to reward. That contract's been eroding recently. Consumer prices climbed more than 20% from 2020 to 2024, and that outpaced wages for most Americans. Pew Research found that just 39% of Americans under 30 believe the dream is still available through their own ambition and hard work. The number of millennials who say the dream's out of reach has quadrupled from 9% in 2017 to now about 35%, and that was measured in 2024. Into that gap stepped platforms built around one promise: quick and big returns. Robinhood, Coinbase, Polymarkets. And here's what these platforms share. They win regardless of whether their users do. They're running a platform, the same playbook as the merchants who sold picks and shovels during the California gold rush. The platform captures value either way. Amazon built dominance by obsessing over customer friction and solving it decade after decade through their online platform. Dollar Shave Club built a billion-dollar acquisition by solving a simple annoyance millions of people had quietly accepted, that razors cost too much. These businesses didn't need to time the market. The value they created compounded because the problems they were solving didn't disappear when sentiment shifted. They were sustaining a valuable business model and consumer equation. That's the model that holds up, not survivorship bias that highlights the American dream of gambling or quick, rich schemes. Here's what I'd suggest you do with this insight if you're a leader. First, study base rates. When you're evaluating any opportunity, an investment, a market entry, a new initiative, a new product opportunity, seek out population level data before you get pulled in to individual success stories. Survivorship bias always uses anecdotal evidence to make a bigger business claim than actually exists. Find the failure rate first. That number is usually the honest one. Second, build for recurring problems. The most resilient businesses, like Amazon and Dollar Shave Club, are built on problems that persist over time. The most resilient teams create solutions customers keep choosing because the underlying need isn't going away. Before you commit to a direction, ask yourself, are we solving something that compounds in value over time, or are we really just capitalizing on the moment? Third, define willingness to pay. and do it early. You might have a good idea, but whether anyone will actually pay for it is a separate question. Even businesses that generate passive income are tied to providing real value that people choose again and again. If you can't clearly answer why someone would pay for this in year 3, the business model probably isn't solid yet. Passive income isn't bad as a category. It can be a real business model. But gambling and building are two fundamentally different things, with a very different value system driving each of them. That's the reframe, so you can leapfrog the headlines, your leadership, and your business. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and find me at sorenkaplan.com.